Hello! Today we are making classic chili. Alright, so this is gonna be a real easy, simple dish. It's gonna be a one-pot wonder, which we love because we don't like washing dishes. So let's get chopping. So we are gonna start off with 1 garlic clove. Next, we're gonna chop up just half of this onion. With our onion today, I'm gonna cut it into pretty small dices. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make some thin half circles. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do tiny little squares. This is actually a big onion, so we're just gonna go with 1/4 of the onion. I'll save this for later. Okay, next we are going to chop up some toppings for our chili. And we're gonna do some green onions first. Go ahead and give it some rinse. You see a little bit of dirt on there, so I'm gonna give it a rinse. Go ahead and slice off the bottom. The whites have a lot of flavor, so you don't want to cut off too much of the whites. Cut off a little bit of the tops since they're a little on the dry side. And we're gonna go ahead and just slice her up nice and thin. I think that's all of our green onion. We're definitely not gonna use all of this green onion today, but I like to just have it ready for whenever I want to top it on any other dishes that I make throughout the week. It's snowing! Lastly, I'm going to cut up some cheddar. Now, I like to top my chili with some cheddar cheese, but I always have the problem of buying the shredded cheese in the bags and then wasting a lot of it because I never use all of it unless I'm making like a quesadilla or something. But since I'm only using this cheese as like a topper for our chili and I don't want to spend a lot of money on cheese, I go to the deli, I ask them to get me just 2 or 3 slices of cheddar, and then I go ahead and just cut it up into little pieces of cheese. That way you save some money and you're not going to be wasting any cheese. Cut little thin strips. And then once everything is cut up into nice little thin strips, turn it on its side and just cut it to about 1/2 inch pieces. And there you go. Shredded cheese. Guess how much this cost, this cheese?
$1.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, 90 cents. Or you spend like, you know, $3, $4 on like the bag and then you don't use it all. What's nice about deli cheese, and then you do this yourself too, is that on shredded packaged cheese, it has that coating to help it preserve its shape and everything. And the coating kind of prevents the melting process of the cheese, kind of make it all like weird looking if you ever do the difference between fresh cheese and then shredded cheese. So doing this step is nice because you have the look of a shredded cheese, but you get the feel of a real melted cheese. Our last topper is just good old sour cream, which came out of the jar. All right, we're ready to hit the pot. All right, this one pot wonder is gonna be super easy. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on our heat. Nice medium high, get that nice and warm. We're gonna throw in some extra virgin olive oil right into the pot. Allow that to warm up a little bit. Now that our oil is nice and hot, first goes in our onions. We love that sizzle, we love that sizzle. Let the onions go for about a minute and then we'll toss in our garlic. All right, let's add in our garlic. Nice toss. Now for today's meat in our chili, we are using ground beef, and this is 85% lean ground beef, which means there's 15% fat. Nice little fat ratio. Go ahead and open that up. And from the bag, this is more of just a personal thing. I'm not a fan of the way it's shaped when it goes into the pan or pot. So I go ahead and just kind of smush it around. So that way it doesn't have any pre-shape to it. It's just straight ground beef. And you know what I mean, that little squiggly look that comes out of the grinder. Yeah. So then after that, go ahead and just take that meat, plop it right into our pot. And take your spatula, go ahead, break up your meat. Onions and garlic are starting to brown up nicely. Mix that in with our meat, get that flavor all incorporated everywhere. Be patient with yourself. Go ahead and keep using your spatula to break up all that meat. When I eat chili, I like the meat to be pretty small. I'm not a fan of huge chunks of meat in my chili. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get as crumbled as possible. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn down my heat a little bit to about a medium. Our meat is cooking up nicely. Now is a good time to add in our spices. We're going to go about a tablespoon of chili powder. And this is what's going to give it its classic chili taste. Just a bit of cayenne for a little bit of spice. Same amount of cumin, that nice flavor. Same amount of smoked paprika, just to give it that nice bright red color and a little bit of smoky flavor. And a couple shakes of oregano. Good old garlic powder and everything, of course. Black pepper. And just a pinch of salt. Stir in all of our spices into our meat. You can already start to see it change into a nice amber brown color. All right, I'm gonna turn my heat down just a little bit more. I don't want anything to brown. We're gonna hop over here, and I got a can of black beans that I'm gonna go ahead and just drain. Take this over here, and I'm actually not gonna use all of the beans today. I'm just gonna go a few spoonfuls. I'm only using half a pound of ground beef, so I'm probably gonna use about a little less than half of a can of beans. Go ahead and stir that in together. Now with beans, you can opt out, you can add pinto, whatever beans you like. I'm usually not a fan of beans, but in chili, I don't mind a little bit. I'm definitely more of the meaty chili girl. Next up, we're gonna add some diced tomatoes, juice and all. If you can get crushed tomatoes, that's even better. My store didn't have that today, so we're gonna go with the diced. So juice and all, going right in. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is allow it to simmer for quite a while. This is gonna help the liquid evaporate out, really thicken our chili, soften up those beans, the meat, get nice and tender. Go ahead, add a lid, get it on a nice medium heat. And we're gonna allow it to simmer for a while. We'll check on it in a little bit and we'll see how long it takes to really get that thickness that we like. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check on our chili. Nice and bubbly. As you can see here, it's gotten a little thicker since our initial starting point. Now is a good time to do a little taste and see if you need to adjust anything. Oh yeah, okay. Got a little bit of kick. Definitely need some more salt. Smidge more black pepper. Okay, and now I'm gonna leave it on a pretty low medium heat with the cover off for just about a couple minutes to really allow it to evaporate out, thicken up a little bit more. just a few minutes. I think we're ready to plate up. And here we have our classic chili. Thanks for joining us. Now get out of my kitchen.